Tom Downey here for the Cowboys Report. We're about to preview this week's game and run through the injury report. Before we do that, as a reminder, I'm asking you once again to like this video if you want the Cowboys to beat the Patriots. I'm not saying the Cowboys will lose if you don't, but Cowboys have won a lot of games in a row. You guys are liking the videos. Correlation, causation, who knows? Let's not risk jinxing it. You don't want to be the guy who didn't like the vid, and then the Cowboys do lose. So before we break it down, take advantage, do it right now, like today's video if you want the Cowboys to win. The Cowboys are on the road in Week 6, taking on the New England Patriots. Dallas so far this year, unquestionably, has been the better football team. They are 4-1. Their offense is second right now in scoring. The defense is above average, which is exactly what I was hoping for, and they've been better than what I was realistically hoping for this year. The Patriots are 2-3. Now, their defense is still really good. They have a good, strong defense overall. Not the best showing against the Texans. We'll talk more about that in a second. Their offense, though, it ain't it. They have had a not easy time moving the football this year. On the road, the Cowboys are the favorite. As we sit here filming this, the spread is Cowboys by 4. I've been watching the money come in on this line. I think it's actually going to drop to Cowboys minus 3.5 in the not too distant future, maybe even in the near future once this video comes out. But for now, minus 4. We'll see where it is at kick. I wouldn't be surprised if it dips to 3.5 soon as well. The Cowboys are winners, by the way, of 4 straight. A narrow loss in Week 1 on the road against the Bucs by 2. Held on against the Chargers, also on the road. And then have won 3 straight home games, all somewhat easily. A blowout win against Philadelphia. A game that wasn't as close as that final score for much of the game might indicate. And then a blowout win, despite a slow first half, against the New York Football Giants, who were rather hurt in that one. The Patriots, meanwhile, I have a tough time figuring out how good this team actually is. You know, their wins are over the Jets and Texans, and those teams suck. Now, they were both road games, ironically enough, and their losses have been a narrow one against the Dolphins, a better team with Tua, a bit of a blowout loss against another team I can't figure out, the Saints, and then a close loss against the Bucs in the Brady-Belichick revenge game. I don't know which Patriots team, especially offensively, will show up this week, but I do think a good defense will be there. And given that it probably won't be raining as hard as it was in Week 4, probably some more scoring than that matchup. But I think this game right here, that Bucs one, has the most potential implications for the Cowboys this week. One note before we spend some more time on the spread and some predictions. The Cowboys' last win against the Patriots was 1996. Now, a big part of that is, well, the crossover games happen once every 4 years. Now it'll be more common with the extra game on the schedule, blah, blah, blah. That's a long time. Guys, I was 4 at that point, and I was barely 4 when that game actually kicked off there, so I don't remember it at all. So maybe this is the week the Cowboys snap that. They are favored, as I mentioned, by 4, and I feel really good right now about this Dallas Cowboys team. That they're operating very well at pretty much all phases, all stages. They look like a much more complete team than what I thought they were going to be. I will give you my score prediction, as we've been doing, at the end of today's video. But I want you guys to flood the comment section with your own right now. This question is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, take advantage of it while it plays, scroll on down, and let me know your score prediction, Cowboys at the Patriots. Let's talk injury now here. First, the good news. The return in the near future of 2 players. The number 1 guy, the one you care about the most, Kelvin Joseph, has been designated to return from IR. Now, my expectation, and this is really coming out of the media reports as well, is that he's probably not going to play in Week 6. Although I will make note the Cowboys have a roster spot open right now, which is probably going to be La'el Collins once he comes back after next week. Now, Joseph missed the entire season so far due to that groin injury he suffered late in the preseason. He probably comes back after the bye. Next up is Sean McKeon, the tight end, who I actually thought could be back a lot quicker than what he was. The Cowboys have played it safe so far. Not played, ankle injury. Again, not expected to play in Week 6. With Jeremy Sprinkle, though, out of free practice squad promotions, I think McKeon will be back sooner than later. Maybe the Cowboys bring him back before Kelvin Joseph. I think that might be asking for a bit too much. Cowboys don't have to rush it. The bye is coming up. They can play it cautiously and utilize that 21-day window for both McKeon and Joseph to bring them back to the active roster on the practice and get reps and get back up to speed in the meantime. Now, if you guys want to bet on the Cowboys this week, as you saw earlier, the odds, all from our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code you guys see on screen, Cowboys125. That'll get you a 125% deposit bonus. I bet every single week on the NFL, and I had my first losing week of the season. Packers won by 3. I had them at 3.5. Patriots won, but they didn't come close to covering the spread. The Niners barely failed to cover against the Cardinals, but the Cowboys, by the way, 5-0 against the spread, have been crushing it this year for me. If you guys want a free, just we'll bring it back because I'm feeling good. I made a lot of money this year betting on the NFL, and the Cowboys are good too. I'm just in a good mood overall. Here's how you can get that free jersey. Put down at least $100 when you use promo code Cowboys125 at chatsports.com/bet. When you do that, you will get the 125% deposit bonus, and we will hook you up with either a CeeDee Lamb or a Zeke Elliott jersey. Zeke Elliott injury update coming up momentarily, by the way, folks. Simply email us, jersey@chatsports.com. When you guys have signed up and deposited, we'll ask for your BetUS account number, a screenshot of your first bet to make sure everything's working properly. Then we'll hook you up. We got all kinds of sizes, the 2 colors that you saw. If you have any questions, just email us, jersey@chatsports.com. In now to the injury report for the Dallas Cowboys. 3 players here who did not participate. Dorrance Armstrong, I think he's going to be out this week, comes back after the bye. Unfortunate for him, the Cowboys have gotten by without him, though. Trevon Diggs was a no-go at Wednesday's practice with that ankle issue. He's fine. Don't worry about it. He played through it on Sunday. He'll be good. Damontae Kazee had a groin issue, by the way. Now, Michael Gelkin says he was told that Kazee will be fine. I still want to monitor that one throughout the week, since the other safety, Donovan Wilson with a groin injury, did return to practice in a limited fashion. Good news there for the Cowboys. We'll spend time on safety momentarily. Also limited, Zeke Elliott. Turns out when he fell on that pylon, it wasn't his back. It was the back of his ribs that he actually bruised. He said he's going to be spending a lot of time in the hot tub and whatnot, and getting everything warmed up and ready there. But he'll play. Same with Randy Gregory. He's just going to be limited for most of the practices this year early on in the week with that knee. Ty Nsekhe, by the way, a full participant. He's not even going to be on the Friday injury report. He's good to go coming back from that heat-related illness. Back to Wilson here. Sounds like this might be the week. Now, he was limited at practice today, and the Cowboys are in for the first time ever, at least in a long time, I shouldn't be that hyperbolic about safety talk, they've got depth at safety. The Cowboys have been without Donovan Wilson, who was counted on to be a playmaker for this team at the beginning of the year, and the safety room and the play hasn't really dropped off. The Cowboys, despite, I'm pretty sure, investing the least amount of money and or draft capital into their safety room than any team in the NFL this year, actually have good depth. Wilson, Kazee, Curse, Malik Hooker, all cheap, all on near or just above vet minimum deals, have been a good top 4. Now the question is, even though the Cowboys love utilizing 3 safety looks, which is smart, it's good usage of your personnel, 4 safety looks is probably asking for a bit too much. So who ends up not being the guy out there? Get your votes in. If you have to, and you can rotate, but if you have to sit one guy more than the rest, who is it? Type DK for DeMonte Casey. Type MH for Malik Hooker. Type DW for Donovan Wilson. Or type in JK for Jaron Kearse. Now, while you're down there in the comment section, make sure you guys are subscribed. I haven't revealed this plan yet long term, but I'll mention it right now. We've gotten past the 100,000 mark. That's awesome. Now the new goal is beating other teams' YouTube channels. We're like 4,000 behind the Giants. I'd love to catch them in the near future. And we're free. We always will be. So hit that big red button and subscribe today. Let's talk about the quarterbacks now as kind of the overview of this particular matchup. We'll talk some nerd strategy stuff here too. Mac Jones' numbers look pretty good. 71% through the air, good yards, a little high on the interceptions, not that many touchdowns. Mac Jones' play has been very clear. Now, maybe it's partially just the scheme, but he has not been good vertically. Sports Info Solutions, some great stats that they put together there. Their deep passer quarterback ranking, Mac Jones is dead last. His completed air yards on average is 5. He's very good short area of the field. He's very good intermediate. He's accurate there. He's not had success this year winning vertically. 20-plus yard passes are not his game. So if I'm Dan Quinn, I am daring the Patriots to beat me deep. They want to run the football. They have had success in that area in the past. I think that could be an area that they try to attack the Cowboys at. But load the box. Make Mac Jones beat you big. If he does do that, have that success deep ball, okay. But if he's trying to air it out vertically, you know what that means? You might have to pick on Trevon Diggs a little bit. And teams have thrown at Trevon Diggs, and yes, his yards are a little bit high, but teams are completing less than half of their passes at Trevon Diggs. They're almost as likely to have that pass broken up by him. They are more likely to have it fall incomplete when throwing at Diggs. That completion percentage number is astoundingly low for a corner, not to mention the whole 6 INT things. And at this point, I'm kind of done betting against Trevon Diggs to get an interception. There will be a prop bet on BetUS in terms of will Trevon Diggs have another INT. I'm just going to keep going yes until he does it. Maybe this is the week it finally stops happening. But get your votes in for me. Will Diggs have another INT? Y for yes or N for no? The other side of the ball, how about Dak Prescott, who has been A, very good this year, and B, someone that we know is very well regarded by Bill Belichick. I think Belichick's comment today, to sum it up, was Dak is Dak. That's how you know Belichick, who has been awfully effusive in his praise in the past of Prescott, respects him a lot. So I'm very curious to see how Belichick and his son Steve, Hoodie Jr., end up adopting their game plan against Dak Prescott. Belichick is very much respectful of what Dak Prescott's able to do. But he's also run a ton of single high and a lot of man coverage this year. I don't think the Patriots personnel is particularly well adapted to handle that, especially with no Stephon Gilmore against Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak Prescott. And remember the quarterbacks they've played against. Tua, Zach Wilson, Jameis Winston, Brady, and Davis Mills. Now, they dared Davis Mills to beat them last week, and he did. I think that the Patriots' game plan will look a little bit more like what they did against Tom Brady. Try to confuse Dak Prescott as best as possible. Carolina did for a little bit, then they figured things out because they were able to make adjustments right there. Probably go heavy box and then drop back 2 guys anyway. You saw the Giants roll a safety down late in the play clock to try to disguise it. I bet you see more of the same against the Patriots. And I do wonder if they will in the end say, you know what, we can't let Dak beat us. We will allow the Cowboys to run the ball against us. That was the Chargers' game plan. That was the Panthers' game plan. That was, to an extent, the Giants' game plan early. Teams are worried about allowing the explosive play because it's more difficult to run the ball for 5 or so yards per carry over and over again on the same drive and then cash in as opposed to allowing, getting beat vertically and allowing the big play. But Dak's been so good on third downs that the Cowboys have been able to do pretty much anything that they want on offense. This offense truly is a pick-your-poison situation. Sometimes, and there will be games in which the defenses slow down the Cowboys' offense. They won't score 30 every single time, but I wouldn't be surprised if they score 30 once again against the Patriots. So before we get to my prediction this week, if you haven't already, go do it right now. This is the pinned comment after all. Predict the score of the Cowboys against the Patriots. The bye's coming up, but the Cowboys are hot. I'm going to keep picking them to win. There are not going to be many games the rest of this year as long as Dak Prescott's healthy in which I don't pick Dallas to win. I've got them winning this one 30-24. That covers the spread, and the Cowboys win. Not quite the blowout we've seen the past few weeks, but it's another Cowboys win heading into the bye.